trying to stay strong. Doctors and paperwork, so much to face. But here you found a safer place. You're not alone, we're standing by your side, helping you through every twist in the ride. With knowledge, care, and a voice that's true, the Disability Digest is here for you. We've walked the path, we've heard the fight. We know the pain that hides from sight. But every story matters, every win is real. Together we rise, together we heal. You're not alone, we're standing by your side, helping you through every twist in the ride. With knowledge, care, and a voice that's true, the Disability Digest is here for you.
All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. And whether you're joining us live today or catching the replay later, we are really glad that you're here with us. So, once again, just a few quick notes to set expectations. This is a live event, and a replay will be available afterward. And today's discussion is for general education only. We won't be providing individual legal advice. So nothing shared today creates an attorney-client relationship. And if you come up along the way with any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll get to as many as we can during the Q&A. And we are also going to have a live Q&A via Zoom. So those of you who came here today to join us live via Zoom, thank you so much. You're exactly where you need to be. So for anyone new here, my name is Nadine and I'm with the Disability Digest. What we do is help people better understand the disability process so they can come informed and make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary problems along the way. So today, you will be hearing from our very own CEO, founder of the Disability Digest, Brian Tarian, and he's going to be hosting today's event. Brian will be guiding this conversation and breaking down how Social Security actually looks at disability cases. And of course, we're also joined by Philip. He leads one of the most supportive Facebook communities for people navigating the disability process. So Philip works closely with our members as well to help them take action, stay organized, and get connected to the resources that they need. So thank you so much, Brian and Philip, for being here today.
You bet.
Wow. Great to be here. And it would be wonderful to see you because you have your camera off.
I didn't realize that.
But it was really, thank you for the introduction. That was fantastic. There's Nadine.
Great voice with a great face.
Yeah. Makes people pay attention, especially me. Welcome, everybody. Great to be here today. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of social media today. And yes, this has been covered probably within the last 6 months, but it keeps coming up again and again and again. So this is just as a reminder because it is prohibitive to you to get approved, stay approved. If you wander outside of the guidelines of using your social media. Now, we'd love to hear from you today if you've had some type of experience or if you have a question relative to this topic, certainly. Have you seen like a van parked across the street and suspected that it might have been the Inspector General's office checking you out or something like that? So that would be great. And as Nadine mentioned, we're going to have a Q&A. There'll be a link where you can come join us live. There's no charge. You come in, ask us what you'd like. We'll do our best to answer and get you on your way. So that would be fantastic. Before we get into today's topic, I have a few housekeeping items that I would like to cover with you. First is if you have been following us like over the last week or so, like the 13th, 14th, 15th, our website was down and it had a message on it that we were updating and coming out with a new version of ourselves, which we have. So we're excited. If you haven't seen it, come take a look. And the Disability Digest, we've been around for coming up on 2 decades here in June. And we've gone through different variations, but we've spent about 6.5 months, the team here, and really understanding how we believe we can best serve you going forward with our membership and communicate with you. So the membership here at the Disability Digest, it remains pretty much the same. Well, actually, no, it's always getting better. That's our effort here. But there's no charge for the membership. You can come on in and click this green button for free. And with your membership, the value of doing that is when you complete a profile with us here at the Disability Digest, just like it has been in the past, is it helps us understand where you're at. Maybe you're still working or you're out of work and you're thinking about applying, want to know if you qualify, applied and waiting, denied, approved, anywhere in there, but there isn't a one size fits all. So you're clicking the green button and answering a few questions and letting us know what your situation is allows us to get you to the right people here, which you have a couple of people that are with me here today that have been working with members for years here. And they take the time to understand better what your situation is and get you into the resources that we have, which could be courses to help you get your benefits, keep your benefits, support groups. Mr. Phillip runs arguably the largest, most successful group for supporting people going through the approval process. And then, if you need help and it's the middle of the night and you're thinking about your benefits, we've got 24/7 support that's inside as a member. So there's different things that we have when we have these live events. So that's the value of a member. But if you just want to come to the site and check it out, there's a video here that looks a lot like me. Actually, it is. And gives you an overview, and then there's some links to like our different newsletters that we put out, the Disability Digest newsletter, Success for Members. Okay. One other housekeeping item. As we continue to rebrand and develop and all that, we're growing, and we are looking for people to add to our team. And there's an application that we have called an advocate application. I'll put it in the chat, Nadine, if you wouldn't mind sending that around.
Sure.
And so here at the Disability Digest, we have a variety of openings that are available, but I'm just going to point and discuss like the general position that we have that we refer to as an advocate. An advocate is somebody that greets our members when they come in, takes the time to understand their situation, walk them through the resources that we have, helps them get approved, stay approved. So for an advocate working here, you work remotely, and we're ideally looking for disability recipients. You could be an able-bodied person and come work here full-time, or a disability recipient, come work here part-time, and keep your benefits. And so that would be the focus of your business. You work remote, you greet members, you work them through the process, and you have a working member relationship that if you start with them from the very beginning, you're going to work through with them to help them get approved. Then once they're approved, you're going to help them transition onto being a disability benefit recipient, what they're entitled to, what they should pay for, not pay for, all the healthcare aspects. We have all the resources here for you to do that. So basically, you're managing a bucket of members. And the larger your bucket of members, the larger the revenue sources that you have. So you get an hourly, and you get compensated for the number of members that you manage. Meanwhile, the membership is all, there's no charge. We make our money through ads, sponsors, and services. So we can provide you with a membership, and we can provide jobs that pay people. So that's a bit about what we do. If you'd like to learn more, come on in, apply, join us, find out if it's for you. So that's the deal. All right. Now, I see there's some comments already rolling in. So here's the first thing while I'm sharing my screen that I want to share with you. The key thing about disability benefits is to be consistent and to be credible. And what Social Security is looking for is that your medical evidence matches what your situation is. So one of the big things, and this is an extreme situation, is somebody is applying for disability benefits and they have degenerative disc disease and they have arthritis in their lower back and they put a picture like this on Facebook, which is a big no-no because that shows or could lead Social Security to believe that you could do a job if you're riding around on a jet ski. So the key thing is using social media, I think is fantastic. It's a necessary part of our society today. But what you want to be careful about is leading people to believe that you are in a different health situation than you actually are. Um, so that's the big picture. And you might look at that and say, like, well, that's an exaggeration. Well, unfortunately, it's happened to people that I know, but it was a lady, the most recent one that did this. So when you're using social media, some of the things that I think people get overly cautious about is not using it, using different names or not joining groups. All of that is fine. You need to really remember what it is that you need to prove to get approved and to stay approved, which is that you're not able to do any job 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. I mean, that's total top shelf for, especially if you're under 50. So using social media doesn't mean that you can do a job. So look, if you can put it in that framework and be careful about vacations and family events and, you know, what you feel like on a good day, that's what usually trips people up. Okay. Um, Now, the other side of that is working. If you're working, like when people come here to work and apply, we look for people that can come and do these type events like Philip and Nadine, where they can take their uh, knowledge, their experience, and lend it to others. So if you're a disability recipient working here and you're on one of these events and you're here for 45 minutes, it doesn't exemplify that you could do a job full time. So point that I want to make here is working is totally fine. You can work and earn up to the allowed amount, ideally 20% below it each and every month and keep your benefits. And so I can speak from experience here. The advocate position that I just showed you, we've had that in place since 2007. And we've had advocates here for the whole time that we've been running this business that are disability recipients. And yes, they get reviewed, but none of them have ever lost their benefits. So it is totally safe to work. One last thing I want to make before we start to get into the next phase of the show is that, you know, you can go back to work if you want to migrate back to work on a full-time basis. Not many do or are able to, but you can do that through the trial work period and other safe ways other than staying below the limit. So just keep that in mind. And I have often said in these events that I think one of the best ways for somebody that has a condition, health situation to supplement their income is having a YouTube channel. Why? Because you can do your video production in like one half a day a week and put your content up for the week in your messaging and just gradually build a business. And if you can't do it on Tuesday, then maybe you do it on Wednesday when you feel better. It's an ideal thing to do, but it's another example of you're using social media, you're producing content, but the amount of time that it takes for you to produce that content and the revenue that's generated from it it doesn't exemplify that you can do a full-time job. So those are some things to consider. All right, so now, just a reminder, we're going to have a Q&A, but we want to hear from Mr. Philip Price and his group first, right?
Yep. Philip, take it away.
All
Take
right.
it away.
First one we have here says, I have a question. Has anyone been scheduled for SSA for an IQ test with MSE? What will they do? What can I expect? Anything else should I know? Not sure what MSE is, but that's what's on my paperwork. I go to Thursday for the appointment.
Well, this is a first for me, but I'm new here. You know, I've only been doing this for 2 decades. It would be interesting if Attorney Brown was here. So I haven't had that happen, but I'm going to provide the same advice that I would for if you're going for a physical exam or a mental health exam from Social Security, is you want to follow the steps that we have in a disability approval course. There's like 7 key things that you should do, but the key one is don't go alone. Bring an advocate with you and have that advocate like make sure that they went through and properly evaluated and completed the test and did all the things that they end up putting in the report that goes into your Social Security file, because oftentimes there's a discrepancy. So that would be the best piece of advice. And if you're wondering, well, how do I get this information? When you join us, if you haven't already at the Disability Digest, you get access to our disability approval course. In the disability approval course, the first you're probably applied and waiting for benefits. It's in section 3. One of the advocates can also point you into that. But I would definitely get in, get that, and follow the other steps to maximize your chances.
All right, I've got a question about that. If you go to one of these exams and you take somebody with you, well, what if what if they tell you nobody can come in, it's just you?
It's a patient right to have an advocate, and I know this firsthand. I've been doing it for my mom. And if they do say something like that, you can say, well, I would like to see your policy, your written policy on that. And even if it is a written policy, that could be like a facility policy. My understanding is it doesn't trump the, probably not the right word to use. It, it doesn't override what your rights are as a patient.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when I go in with my mom, I do that, and there's different doctors, and I ask to record it with their permission. Not once have they said no. Sometimes I ask why, and I explain that, well, you know, there's a lot that's covered here, and sometimes like my mom has questions and not everything is put in the medical notes. I have the recording. It's right here, doc. It saves a lot of, right? So it can be positioned so that it's beneficial for the doctor in that 12-minute visit. Actually, if you're doing an IME or an exam like that, they're usually much faster than that.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Next question here says, what could cause my application to still be in step 2 for over 30 days? They started reviewing in December, on December the 5th.
I don't think that's abnormal, right? 30 days for a
Uh,
step. Not not now. I mean, I've seen some that have been 5 months on a step.
yeah.
But you can always follow up if you can get in touch with the case manager and say, listen, is there anything that I can do to provide you to help out? Not, I would avoid asking the question directly, like what's going on? Why is it taking so long? Just be polite and persistent and ask what else you can do to make their job easier.
Okay. Next one here says, I had a hearing for SSDI with judge and a lawyer earlier this week.
Okay.
Judge said he'll make a decision in a month.
Yep.
If it's a denial, what's the next step?
Okay. Hopefully it's not. So the decision process, judge makes a decision, and that decision goes to a decision writer, and then you get a letter that's called a decision letter. At the top of that letter, it will say unfavorable or favorable. And then it could be, the decision could be 4 or 5 pages. So once you get that, if it's favorable, hopefully it is, then you'll get an award letter sent separately. Sometimes it's another 30 to 60 days, and that's around the time you can expect to get paid.
All right. Let's see here. This one is, since I got my approval on the 12th of this month and was deemed disabled August of 2023, will I qualify for Medicare or will it be 2028 before I do? I will lose my Medicaid and were it sick, I'm going to be paying $300 to $400 a month for insurance.
Yeah, valid concern. Philip, was the 8/2023, was that the date they found disabled or entitled to?
It says was deemed disabled August of 2023.
So 8 plus 5. Anybody else coming up with 12?
Yes.
All right. So based on what you're saying is you will be eligible for your Medicare on 12 of 2023, which is past due. So you are eligible for Medicare now. And what my advice is take action and sort through, look for a plan. If you're on Medicaid, you want to make sure you apply for extra help so you don't pay for, if you're eligible, you don't pay for the Medicare Part B premium, which is $202.90 a month. So you want to make sure you apply for extra help and you get a plan in place. And you can even though you don't have a Medicare number yet, it could possibly be in the system. And you're able to access it now by working with Social Security and Medicare.gov. If all of this sounds like, oh my God, it's super confusing, you're a member here at the Disability Digest, you can request a benefit review. If you haven't been sent an offer to do that, you can contact our support and we'll look at your award letter, do all of this for you as part of the feature, one of the features we have for no charge, help you apply for your extra help, find plan options that suit your doctors and your medications and your health conditions and your location and all that, help you, advise you through the enrollment process. So all of that is available to you here at the Disability Digest, or you can do it all yourself. Back in, I want to say September, one of these live events, as we went through and explained how people can do their own self-assessment and review in a deeper dive. So those are some of your options. Congratulations on getting approved.
Yep. Congratulations. All right. This is the last one from my group for today.
Yep.
Says if my estimate for SSDI is $1,644 and end up getting approved for SSDI, is the $1,644 accurate amount I'll get?
Yes, but you have to factor in just the prior situation. Like, what is your Medicare status? Are you eligible based on $1,644 a month? If you're a single individual, you would be eligible for extra help and you would not need to pay for your Medicare Part B, which is the $202.90. If you're married, your spouse is working, something like that, then you would not, and your $202.90 is going to be deducted from the $1,644.
Okay. All right, Nadine, that's it.
Hi, thank you so much, Philip, for bringing in the questions from your group during our live events on Wednesdays. We appreciate that. And
Mhm.
thank you so much, Brian, for all of the information that you shared as well. So, um, everyone, Zoom is now open for those of you who would like to join us live for Q&A. I shared the link in the chat box. So just click away whenever you're ready to join. But while we wait for someone to join us live, Brian, I do have a couple of questions here.
Mhm.
This one is from our support email. It's from James Begley. He said, "Hi, I'm 53 on disability for about 5 years. I work 2 days per week at $15 per hour. I originally had the Medicare card, which they take $202.90 out of my disability check, and I pay an additional $25 for Medicare RX card. I also have the Illinois medical card. I receive a letter saying I will lose the Illinois medical card because my assets are too high. I save most of my money. One question is, will my Medicare A and B card be good enough for medical? And I watch your videos about people receiving all their benefits. Am I missing out on some other benefits? I feel like I can't afford extra Medicare insurance."
Okay.
Ooh, that's a long one.
I want to just recap this to make sure I'm headed in the right direction. So this individual right now has got a prescription drug card. He's in Illinois, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know
Yep.
what the primary insurance is other than Medicare
Mm-hmm.
A and B, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yep.
piece I don't know. Um, and is he paying the $202 a month?
202, yeah.
He
It
is.
is taken out of his disability check.
Okay. All right. So there's with the information I have, I'm just processing how to answer this. So here's how most disability recipients are set up for their healthcare coverage. When you get approved for your disability benefits, Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B are standard. And Medicare Part A, there's no charge, as this individual is paying $202.90 a month for Medicare Part B. Some people don't have to pay for that because of their financial eligibility. But what that provides is basic Medicare. And what it doesn't do is it doesn't cover the gaps. So Medicare A and B, an easy way for me to explain it is an 80-20 relationship where Medicare pays 80% and you pay 20%. So if you go to a doctor's visit, let's say it's $300, you're on the hook for 20%, which is 60, right?
Mhm.
Not a big deal, right? But if you have a hospital event, or like I use the story of Doris, who was a diabetic and she was just on Medicare A and B. She had a diabetic heart attack. She went in the hospital for 4 days, $86,000 bill. She's on the hook
Yeah.
for 20% of that because she only had Medicare A and B. She didn't have that 20% gap covered. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So the challenge is, and some people you might be saying, well, listen, I probably can find a way to wiggle out of that one. She's in a small town with one hospital, and
Mhm.
they got the bill and they closed the door on her. So it's not good. That's what you want to avoid. So there's two ways to do that generally. There's a Medicare Advantage plan where you technically leave Medicare and your health insurance is managed by a private insurance company like United Healthcare. Humana,
Mhm.
Aetna, WellCare. So if you think back to like when you were employed, you probably had, or if you had health insurance, it was an HMO or a PPO from your employer. It's a similar environment with Medicare. One way to look at it. So what this does is those plans have a cap on your maximum out of pocket. Could be between $4,000 and up to like $9,000 now. But it's not like what Doris thinks she was on the hook for 18,000. We had another guy in Vermont that was airlifted, and he was on just Medicare A and B. He was airlifted from the northeastern part of Vermont to Dartmouth Hitchcock. His bill was like gargantuan. Um, but these plans will help you do that, and they have other benefits, and they're HMO or PPO, so you can go to Doctors in Network if that works for you. If you want a broader, plan coverage than a PPO if they're available. And some of them have dental, hearing, vision. Some have shopping cards, gym memberships, all these other bells and whistles. That is the common way. The other way that's less common that people ask about a lot is a Medicare supplement. Where a
Mhm.
Medicare supplement, you pay a monthly fee to get like Plan G or Plan N that closes the gap of that 20%. So the challenge with the Medicare supplement is that it has underwriting conditions for health. And if you're under 65, one, the price is expensive, and two, most people don't pass the medical. So those are difficult to get into. I've worked with two individuals in however long that I've been doing this that have been able to get into one. Their spouse was working, or the money was an issue, and they just paid it. But it's like anywhere from like five, sometimes $700 a month. It's expensive. So those are the options. What confuses me about this situation, and then I'm going to be done
Mhm.
with my rant, is this
Mhm.
individual has just a prescription drug card. But if he was in a Medicare Advantage plan, that includes drug coverage. If
Mm.
you're in a supplement plan, it doesn't, and you do also need a prescription drug card. So for this person that has that question, best we can do is we need to get to the bottom of it, do a benefit review. It doesn't cost you anything. We can figure it out,
Yeah.
point you in the right direction.
Yep. And I posted the link in the chat as well to those of you who would like to have a benefit review done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thanks so much for that, Brian. We have Samuel on the waiting room. I'm gonna let
Okay.
him in. There you go. Hi, Samuel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello,
Good morning, Samuel.
morning.
How
Welcome.
can we help you? Oops, you're muted.
I didn't what you say.
There. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see you do have a question here about working for the Disability Digest. Is that right?
Yes, hold on.
See some other questions in our YouTube chat. Are you able to view those as well? We can come back to Samuel when he's ready.
Yeah, let me see.
There he is.
Hello.
Oh, there he
There he
goes.
is. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was I applied to be the disability advocate, and the next step was to get the what you call the benefits evaluation. I'm registered with the Department of Rehab over here in California, and I asked them about the benefits evaluation, and they didn't seem to know what I was talking about. So I'm wondering, mm, I don't know if they have something they call work incentive planning. I don't know if it's the same thing, And if that's the case, do I need to put working for Disability Digest as my employment goal?
Yeah,
Because
good
that,
question. Good question. So I can better understand where you're at. Samuel, Brian Terry in here. When did you apply for the advocate position?
oh, it was last year,
Okay.
probably almost as soon as I got approved, I also applied. I was around October, November last year. I'm not sure, but it was
Okay.
a while ago.
All right. So I'm going to address your question, but we've changed it. And because we understand there are some challenges in getting a benefit evaluation. But vocational rehabilitation organizations throughout the country, one of the things that they do is they have benefit planners. And a benefit planner is somebody who works with disability recipients, or you don't have to be a disability recipient, you could be anybody, to help them with an employment plan. So our strategy has been go meet with the benefit planner, have them assess you. There's two pieces of real value there. One is they can help you understand if it's a fit. Two is if you need any resources like technology upgrades or anything like that, or soft skills, then they can often help you out with those to maximize your chances of employment success. So I
Mhm.
still would encourage you to pursue that. Regarding your application here, I would just go back through your emails and for the application that you received and just say that you are on the live today and you would like to, you weren't able to get a benefit planner to meet with you and you'd like to be considered again.
Okay.
That's option one, or we could do an interview right now live. Yeah. So no, I was kidding about that, but that would be the next step. So you were approved when?
Oh, again, that was like November, October last year.
Okay. And you're living in California?
Yes,
Whereabouts?
in Inland Empire in Hemet
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. I lived for a while in Riverside. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's like northwest of us.
Yep. Yep. Good. Good. What did you do when you were working?
I was an IT user support technician.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Nice. Nice. Um, I have a question for you. This one is optional. Going through the disability approval process, which we just met each other, I don't know what it was like for you, but people that listen to this is like 50% that are trying to get approved.
Mm.
Do you have any words of advice, any experience, anything that you learned through the process that you would be willing to share for others? Maybe
Um,
a tip, something encouraging.
from my experience, what I would say, um, the important thing is to uh, be clear and honest about everything, but don't exaggerate anything. Make the best guess. Sometimes the questions aren't too clear about what they're asking for. Make the best guess and be as honest as you can in your response. And 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 also make sure you make the appointments on time that they give you. Like in my case, I had to go, I had to travel about 60, 70 miles twice to see the
Really?
doctor. And I asked them the first time, hey, isn't there any doctor closer? They said, nope, there's no one closer that's registered with us. So I had to make that trip and somebody, family member had to drive me. And
Mm,
so, and so, you know, make go do as much as you do what's required as much as you can
hmm
and be honest and make your best guess if you don't understand. And also I followed the instructions that I was given in filling out the forms and to the best of my ability, give the information that was required, did not give what was not required. And and I think that's the best I can do. Well, in my case, I also prayed and said, if this is mine, let me have it. That's it.
Amen. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Love
That's
it.
really good advice, Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's really good advice.
So I was
Last question, nothing to do with disability, but I did detect an accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Are you? Nice.
Yeah.
How long you been in the States?
Since 2008, this time.
All
I was
right.
going back and forth.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have albinism, so I don't look black. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to America.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Please follow up. It would be nice to, have you go through the process and find out if it's a fit. All
All
right.
right, I will.
Appreciate you. Thanks for
Thank
showing
you.
up and the
Thank you,
Thank you.
advice.
Sam.
Bye
All
bye.
right.
Thank you so much, Samuel. Okay, we also have Alex in the waiting room. I'm gonna let him in. And while we wait, oops, he's here. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. How can we help?
Um, I I have one question. Hold on just a second. Okay, I was recently approved for my SSDI, and I got my award letter yesterday, but it doesn't
Mhm.
really explain anything as far as like I'm not sure, but it just doesn't really explain anything other than basically that they changed the date that I became disabled, and it just tells me basically the monthly payment amount.
What would you like to know?
Um, to be honest, I'm not even sure. I'm not really sure.
All right. Uh, do you have it in front of you?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. So I'll go through a few basics with you, and if you don't mind.
Sure.
And we can hear you. We're not able to see you, which is fine. I don't know if you'd like for us to see you or not. But if you look at the top of the award letter, it will have the very top line that has the word entitled in it. Would you read that to me?
Sure. So it says you are entitled to monthly disability benefits beginning January 2026.
Okay.
Then it says the date you became disabled, and it says we found that you became disabled under our rules on July 25th, 2025. The date we found you disabled is different from the date you gave us on the application. And then it says to qualify for disability benefits, you must be disabled for 5 full calendar months in a row. The first monthly you are entitled, the first month you are entitled to benefits is January 2026.
Okay. Very helpful. Next question, Alex, not on your award letter, is when did you stop working because of a sickness or an injury?
I stopped working in October 10th of 2025.
But they found you disabled in July of 2025, right?
Right.
Are you, but you didn't stop working until October of 2025. Am I
Right.
understanding this correctly?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Wow, you got approved pretty quick. Um, so from what I see, this in the decision that they made a decision that you were eligible for your benefits before you stopped working. So I wouldn't dispute that. And your benefits started in January of 2026. So they just started like this month. You got your first payment, or you will
Uh, it says that I'll get my first payment next month.
next month. Okay. All right. Um, if I may ask, what's the primary condition that's preventing you from working?
Blindness.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's actually right. That makes it easy. I'm sure there's people out there like listening, like, what did Alex do? But if your test uh, apparently shows that you're visually impaired.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So then what will happen next that most people are interested in is from an insurance perspective, your Medicare will start 24 months from your entitlement date. That top line that says January 2026.
Yes, sir.
So what state are you in?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay. So you've got to figure out a way to, cover your health care between now and then,
Mhm.
exchange, Cobra, whatever the deal is. Then your Medicare will kick in January of 2028. And you'll be eligible for Medicare, which is like the couple prior questions that we had. And you can take advantage of that. And your monthly check amount, was that in line with what you expected?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And further on down the letter, did they say anything about a review? Like, probably not. Well, they might if I don't know exactly what has caused your visual impairment, but is there anything in there like we're going to reevaluate your benefits in 3 years, 5 years?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay. All right. Um, it may not be in there, especially because of your age. And again, I don't know what the medical,
And my blindness is retinitis pigmentosa.
okay. All right. Any possibility for improvement?
No, sir. There's no cure for it.
Okay. So that's probably why they don't have the review in there. So you may not be reviewed. Yeah.
What is your visual acuity now, Alex?
I am not sure.
20, it had to be 2200 in order to qualify. Does that sound
Yes, sir.
familiar?
That sounds good, sir.
All right. Mine was 2400 and I didn't get I got a review, but it wasn't for like I think it was 16 months after that. They sent me a review, but it was a short form review. So if you do get one, the short form is probably the best. You don't want to get one at all, but if it's a short form, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the better. There's a short form and a long form.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, do you have any plans to like do any work, or would you like to?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Because you could, and there's different income earning limits for those that are visually impaired that are different than
Yes.
those that are able-bodied. So you can make more money. And if that presents itself as something of interest, then you can just if you're a member here, which I encourage you to be, you
Definitely.
can just contact our support desk, or we'll help you out with that.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Okay. Anything else on your mind?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations too.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. All
Thank you,
right,
guys.
we have Jeff in a waiting room. Can we still accept one more question?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good afternoon for me.
Oops, there. Hi, Jeff. Can you hear us? How can we help you?
Closely watched kidnapping cases in the United States is the subject of a new Netflix documentary. Kidnapped, Elizabeth Smart takes neighbors back to 2002 with a 14.
All right. While Jeff is figuring out his audio, we do have a question here from the chat, Brian. It says, "Hi, I'm in the process of recon appeal, even though I submitted previous version of SSA 33773. They sent me a new form to fill out again. Should I just cut and paste the answers from the last one, or am I allowed to add details? I will not change from the last version drastically."
Yeah, you can. My best advice is answer as consistently, like Samuel that was just on. You want to be credible and you want to be consistent with your condition. So, Jeff, I'm going to put you on mute for a moment while I finish this.
Yep.
The documentary also featured interviews with some, including her sister, Mary Catherine, who was in the
Brian, you're muted.
Brian, you're muted.
I'm back. Answer it in line with where you're at this moment. If you had just completed the function report, like say 4 or 5 months ago and something has changed, you want to make sure that it's communicated in that, like maybe you were doing shopping once a week when you filled it out before, or making light breakfast or lunch, but you're not able to do it now. So those are the things that you want to do that. You want to make sure you fill it out. Again, be credible and get it back in. These forms are really important, and it is important, in my take, it's a good indication that they're sending it to you twice because they're looking at your case. So, and if you need help filling it out, these answers to how to fill these out from Attorney James Mitchell Brown, Attorney Carl Osterhow, they're available in an interview video format where you can listen to them, have the forms out, fill it out in line with the direction of their answers. So that's available to you. Okay. I'm back to Jeff. I asked you to unmute and away we go. So Jeff, you're on. How can we help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually, my girlfriend is actually the one that's interested in this, so I just wanted to follow along because she was interested in this, so I'm just absorbing.
You're the facilitator.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh yeah, no, she's on as well. So Nikki,
Yeah.
can you hear any of this?
I'm trying to log on.
Brian,
Oh, okay. So she's actually she'll be coming on soon. Actually, Nicole, and she's trying to log on at the moment, but she was
Okay.
there earlier. She's having a little tough time here, but
All
she'll be
right.
there
I think,
unless I can
Brian,
just bring
I think
the
they're.
computer over. Do you want to just jump onto mine here?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime.
Hi.
Hi.
We'll turn the video on.
Hold on a second. Sorry.
There we go.
There you go. Hello.
Thank you.
You're
Hi,
welcome.
thanks for joining.
You are
How can we
welcome.
help you today?
Well, are we going to be talking about I don't want to take away from the point of the meeting today, which was about social media. Because
Well,
I could talk about like a million things, and I don't want to make it about me.
well, it's really about you. If you come in here, ideally you have like 3 to 5 minutes, and your most pressing item, if it's in our wheelhouse and we can provide value, Nikki, let's do it. All right.
Okay. Where do I begin? I have I just got approved March 2025. Yeah, thanks, babe. Thank you. I know I'm nervous as hell. And my concern is that when I got denied back in 2021, the denial letter was very lengthy, very detailed, and my approval letter for March of 2025 was very minimal. Even though all the things I did to get approved, I even got a spinal tap. They didn't include anything I did to maintain my treatment. They basically it was very minimal. It's very scary. And because there's a lot of stigma about my condition, being qualified only under seizure disorder. And Jeff, are you going to keep an eye on me just in case? I don't have a back seat.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
I got the cataplexy, so I don't want to fall back. So he's going to make sure if I do that I won't. Sorry, I get scatterbrained and I just took my afternoon meds. So
Let me see if I get it. I think I might give you a break here, Nikki,
the
if I
judge
can.
says that they
Hold on,
expect
hold
me
on.
to have
Let him talk.
improvement, and I have a CDR scheduled for October of 2026, and I'm terrified of that.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 35, going to be 36 March.
Good.
And I don't fit into the box of the ideal stigma. I mean, the ideal disability. I mean, I have ableness with a chronic disability.
Yeah. Yeah. You're young. That's probably
And that's
bad.
why it makes me really like scared because of being young. And I've already been told by people that like, like I'd be most likely looked at to want to get like pushed out. And I don't know, but there's no cure for this condition. So that's why I didn't like understand. And I actually started applying for SSDI with the thought that you could actually work, because I was a mental health professional at working part-time, or actually, yeah, part-time at my own private group practice, and applied thinking that I could actually work, and then had
Right.
legal representation, and then that just didn't work out. And then eventually I did lose my job and became forced into homelessness several times after that during COVID, and the stigmatization bad. And so I'm scared because there is not a lot of awareness around this disability.
Good.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, see if I understand your situation.
Yes.
Right? Did you go to a Social Security disability hearing and then you were denied, and that produced the long, lengthy letter?
So thankfully, I did have a disability hearing, but it was only via phone because it was in the middle of COVID. My hearing was, I think, in March of 2021, and then I got denied in May of 2021, and I was already homeless again at that time too.
Okay. And so that after
And then I
that,
lost my.
you applied, and it's this application that you got approved on. Is that right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it took me a long time to find legal representation because several lawyers were not even willing to look at me to help me because I was still working as a private group practitioner.
Yeah.
But I only had like 2 clients. I
Okay.
went from like, because I had an ethical obligation to not take on new clients due to the housing,
Sure.
being displaced and all that.
Yeah. So your
I
original
really hope.
your
Yes.
original question was about the award letter, and it didn't have a lot of information in it, right?
Yeah, I neglected to include things that I did.
Okay, so that's one, and then I'll talk to you about keeping your benefits strategy. What you received is what everybody receives. I think perhaps what you expected was some dissertation as to why you got approved, Nikki, but they don't put any medical reasoning in that. The exception to that is if you did go to a hearing, you get a decision letter, which we covered earlier in the program. And the decision letter from the hearing will explain the judge's ruling and why you got approved. But when you get an award letter, it's just an award letter. It's like the one that we just went through with the prior individual that called in. It has your entitled date, and then it has the date you were found disabled, your monthly payment, the review date,
Right.
all of that. It doesn't have it. There's no medical in there. So, good question, but that's how the Social Security system works, right?
Right.
So now with the second concern about keeping your benefits, getting a review with your age is going to be expected. Did they say it was like you said 2026? Is that?
They literally have a date for October 2026. And since then, I already tried finding a genetic specialist at Yale University. I've been denied a study at Stanford University by actually the specialist that researches narcolepsy with cataplexy, Dr. Emmanuel Mignon. I've been denied because I'm so far out of the category type 1 narcoleptic with my hypocretin levels having declined so much since. I mean, I don't want to get into the science of it because I could just go all over the place. But my fear is that there is not the science or technology to help bring awareness of my condition. And I'm afraid that they are expecting me to have improvement when I'm just looking for stability. Like my stability is being able to maintain my treatment, access to my doctors, and like being able to cope with the symptoms that I live with on a 24/7 basis. It is like a thing. So
I'm going to pause you
I'm
there.
just terrified.
I'm going to pause you there. I think it's admirable that you're pursuing the specialist, but I want to focus on the basics with you. And this applies to anybody that's out there. Can you explain to me a short, concise statement? If it 2 sentences or less, if it goes over,
We'll
I'm gonna pause you. Okay?
You hope, please set
What the
boundaries.
limitations are. What the limitations are that prevent you from working.
My inability to maintain any sort of deadline date. I have a disability where I have to nap whenever I I have sleep attacks. I have cataplectic episodes. Cataplexy is the
Okay, that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
and I have cataplectic seizures anytime I feel laughter or any sort of extreme emotion, which makes me really dangerously at a high risk of being a whatever.
You're about halfway down the page, so I'm going to pause you. But you brought up a really good point. When you say napping, on a typical day, how many instances would that be, or a week? Can you give me an example?
About 3 naps a day.
And how long are they?
Between 15 minutes to 30 minutes.
Okay, and do you have the ability to control when they happen?
Nope.
Okay, so this is my experience in 20 years of doing this. What you want to do to really lock in your benefits is just focus on proper doctoring. You can control it, Nikki. And here's how you do it.
Yes.
When you go into the doctors, you want to communicate, listen, I'm still in a situation, doc, where I'm taking at least 3 naps a day. I don't know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be 15 to 20 minutes. And there's 2 things that are going to come out of that. One is, from a health perspective, I'm sure you'd like to feel a little better, and they're treating you, and having them understand what you experience is going to be very valuable to them.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is, and this is for protecting your benefits, is if you're subject to taking 3 naps a day and you don't know when they are, you're unemployable. There's no job you can do. Anybody out there can prove that. But what you want to do, and you lock this in, and this is recorded, and this is a replay, and Jeff, I know, is listening, is you want to make sure that you communicate that limitation in each and every visit, and it gets in your medical records. You're like a broken record. 3 to 4 naps a day. And if there's others, like you can't remember repetitive tasks, then you want to really dial in on those. Because when Social Security comes through for your review and they look at your medical, they're going to look at that if they even get to that point. Okay.
And is that with just because my psychiatric records are far more detailed and very much more backs me up and my condition up than my sleep doctor, Dan, who I see only once every 6 months. And he's not actually, I haven't been able to actually find a neurologist who actually specializes in sleep medicine around here. Because every time I try to find a neurologist, they refer me to it's just been difficult.
I would spray it in all your doctors. Your message is the same, whether they're treating.
Then all my records are great.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I have cataplectic seizures with my psychiatrist too, because I feel comfortable with her.
Yeah. Here's the next last piece of advice that I want to do my very best to transcend and reach through my MacBook and give you, which is focus on controlling what you can control. The review, Social Security, all that stuff, people get so caught up in that. And it's easier for me, to say and do. But if you just focus on your doctoring and you're taking care and you're doing what you're asked to do, and that's the basics, and that right, that's it. So
I really like the advice that you give too, because I've been having this daily journal for narcolepsy. But I'm very, very bad at being consistent, which is the thing about me. I'm able. I mean, I'm capable, but not always able. So I'm unreliable. But I have this book that's just about cataplexy, and when I try or when I remember, I can write down my daily, especially if sometimes I just do chunks of like a month at a time, so it's inconsistent. But I at least have like bulks of
yeah.
days in a row of me trying to document my symptoms or when I take naps and stuff like that. I really
Okay.
like that advice because
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. We do have a benefit protection program at the Disability Digest. If you're a member, you can ask to learn more about that. So when you get your review, we provide you some guidance. If you
Yeah.
need legal assistance, there's no charge for the benefit protection program. It's tied to managing your Medicare benefits, but so that's something that may give you some extra peace of mind. So if they did start to question, you get a long form disability review, they start pulling your medical records, then you have an extra layer of support. Yeah. Last
Yes.
question I have for you is
It just took the
go ahead and then I'll finish.
no, I'm am jumpy, so you please go
Okay.
ahead. I would like rather
I
hear
want
from
to
you.
see the fingernail polish that you have, the color. Is it match your shirt?
No, yeah,
Oh,
they're two different color purples. I couldn't
ah,
and we
nice.
have a macaw that's screeching over there. Sorry about that.
Well, I don't know what a macaw is.
It's a big bird.
Oh, really?
A big bird, yes.
A big. All right. All right. Cool. Well, listen, I hope that I've been able to provide some
It's
relief,
just the fact that they
perhaps.
expect improvement. That's what scares me is I want stability and keeping up with my records and my documentation with my doctors. Literally, I have a psych appointment and I'm leaving in an hour.
Yeah.
So
Your stability is to control the controllables.
yes, within my limitations, yes.
Yep. That's
And I
it.
don't want that to be a weaponized against me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
You're gonna be
terrified of that.
you're gonna be fine.
All right, you're
I,
beautiful. Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming to join us today. This has been nice, and Jeff originating it. Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Appreciate it. I
yeah.
was taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Come
Yeah,
back and visit. We'd love to
it
hear
takes
from
a
you.
team. That's why I fight so hard for my treatment team. Yes, and my comrades, and I appreciate. I feel part of the team. So
That's great.
sincerely, that's a beautiful thing, and I appreciate you guys.
You're
Thank you.
very
Light and
welcome.
love.
God bless you. Enjoy your day.
Thank
Bless.
you. Take
Thanks for
care.
being here. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. All right. So,
Mute.
right. I don't have any other questions from the chat. So,
That's good because I am out of time. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, great. Nadine, Phillip, thank you for another enjoyable live event. At least I enjoyed it. I hope others did too. That's kind of the purpose. It shouldn't be all self-focused. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. In case you haven't noticed, I've adjusted our agenda for every 2 weeks. We have a guest speaker for the next event, and it's Michael Sexton. And Michael Sexton does a lot of Social Security disability hearings. As a matter of fact, he did 18 in like the last 2 weeks. So he's in court a lot. And what he's going to discuss with us is around the theme of what people could have done differently. Because not every case gets approved, but a lot of times they could have been approved, but they just didn't do the right things. So this will be beneficial for people that are trying to get approved, or even for Nikki, understanding like
Yeah.
what it is that you need to be saying and doing so that you can get and keep. Okay.
Your benefits.
Great.
All right.
So yeah, that's a wrap for today. And we thank you for coming to hang out. And if you're not a member here and what we've expressed to you is of value, come join us. If you're looking for something to do for work, we'd love to entertain that. Follow the links that are put in the chat, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, right?
See you in 2
Yeah.
weeks. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody. Be well. Make it a great day.